This is the start of my engine swap guide. I'll be covering the disassembly of my '92 Camaro. And just a warning, there wasn't much of a method to this madness. I just started removing everything that was in my way. And make sure to stay tuned for my next video, in which I'll cover removing the poor excuse of a V8. I started by getting my car up on my wheel cribs. If you're interested in making a set, I have a video on the process. Also note that my nice forged wheels were stored for safekeeping. The battery is removed for safety reasons. Every part that I remove from the car is labeled and put inside of a bag. There's no other way to remember where all this junk goes. Draining the fluids, such as the oil, will avoid any large mess later on. The rusty coolant comes next. The old coolant reservoir didn't want to be removed, so I pried it off anyways. Try to get as much transmission fluid removed as possible, as ATF always ends up making a huge mess. The air dam is removed to get some more room underneath the car. The radiator hoses are removed, followed by the radiator cover mount. The factory steering cooler lines are unbolted just to get them out of the way. Lift the fan out of the engine bay and then unplug the fan wiring. The heater hose lines are removed alongside the transmission cooler lines. Once the radiator hose and transmission cooler lines are removed, pull out the radiator. I removed the AN lines on my custom steering cooler. I then removed the various steering lines on the pump and the steering box. The factory intake is partially unbolted, so I can remove the factory windshield wiper reservoir. The Detroit Speed strut tower brace is removed, followed by the factory air cleaner assembly. Remove the front sway bar end links and bushings. The evap charcoal canister is removed with its various wires and hoses. Remove the cruise control module. I then removed the cruise control cable. The vacuum reservoir below is removed, aka the alien spaceship. Remove the steering shaft. I started removing the AC lines. Since my system was empty, it was easy. If your lines are full, don't dump refrigerant into the air. It's dangerous to your health and the environment. A full face shield is definitely a good idea here. The large AC lines are removed from the dryer assembly. Once the AC lines are removed, the heat exchanger can be taken out. Remove the heater bypass hoses. And now for something completely different. Time to remove the drive shaft. The differential oil is drained since I'll be doing some axle seal maintenance. I removed the brake booster. If you're interested in the process, make sure to watch my previous video. The 700R4 transmission is removed. If you're interested on how to drop a transmission in a 3rd gen, make sure to check out my older video. Remove the TV cable from the bracket. Remove the throttle cable. Unplug the hood light, then remove the light and the wiring. Removing the hood is next. I had my brother hold the hood as I unbolted it. This is definitely a 2-person job. Once the hood is off, remove the hood hinges. Go ahead and remove the front air ducting. A few various plastic trays are removed. Remove the front hood latch and bumper mount. The front grille is removed. It's held in by 4 tiny screws. This airbag crash sensor is removed since I don't have an airbag. These bumper supports are unbolted. Unplug the headlights. Remove the 2 screws that hold the turn signals in. Twist the bulb socket and then remove it. The side running lights are held in with these weird clips. Go ahead and flip the clip and the light drops right out. Remove the headlights. Unplug the horn wires, then remove the bolts. The annoying plastic push pins are removed, or in my case, destroyed on removal. Remove the nuts that attach the bumper to the fenders. Unscrew the fasteners that hold the front lip to the fenders. Carefully lift the front bumper cover off the car. Go ahead and remove the bolts that hold the fender to the car. And don't forget the bumper support rods. The ground effects on my 92 needed to be partially removed to get the fenders off. There are various small screws and a few bolts that fasten the ground effects to the body. The screws that hold the top of the ground effects are removed. Wiggle the ground effect bolts out of the fenders, then remove the fender. Note to self, I definitely need some fender liners. Unscrew the antenna and the mount, then remove the passenger fender. Unbolt the antenna bracket. The factory 305 ECU is removed. See my 305 chip video for the details. Remove the crash bar nuts and lift this 27.5-pound monstrosity off the car. I'll be for sure making a lighter crash bar. Remove the two fender support rods. Pull out the pins that hold the air deflector to the car. The radiator X support rods are removed. And that's it. Man, this was a crazy weekend. I'm happy that I can remove so much junk out of this engine bay. Make sure to check out my next video on removing that poor excuse of a V8. As always, make sure to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram for more awesome content.